Namaste friends, my name is Amit Garg. Welcome to my channel Vedic Astro Amit. Today we'll talk about the combustion of Saturn. Combustion means whenever a planet goes near the sun, Surya, the king, we say the planet is combust because sun is such a giant, big planet, and it has such a luster, brilliance that when any other planet goes near the sun, we say it loses its strength, which is not the case all the time. So we'll discuss all the 12 signs. We'll go deep into what's happening, what combustion really means. And before that, if you can please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, that really helps. So we'll talk about all the 12 signs. First of all, Aries. Aries rising, Lagna, as well as Aries Rashi. So this is what's happening. Saturn and Sun are going to be together, and that's from February 13th till March 14th. So we're talking about combustion of Saturn. So Sun and Saturn are in the 11th house, and Saturn is the 10th lord and the 11th lord, and Sun is the 5th lord. And you can see here, I've put aspects also. So Saturn is aspecting the Lagna, Saturn is aspecting the 5th house, and Saturn is aspecting the 8th house. So that's the full picture. Now, see, Sun and Saturn, they're both very mature and responsible planets. Sun is our Atmakaraka, which means the soul significator. So natural Atmakaraka in Gemini astrology. So that means Sun represents our soul. And so soul can never misguide us, right? And then Saturn is the planet of karma. And Saturn is the most responsible, mature, and disciplined planet. Saturn is always thinking about the long term for our good. Saturn never makes us do anything that's not in our benefit, in our favor. So Saturn makes us work hard, but that's all for our own good. So Saturn and Sun coming together, then we have to see which sign they're coming together in. So this is the sign of Aquarius, which is Mula Trikona sign of Saturn. So Saturn means business. Mula Trikona is the strongest sign for any planet, and strongest sign for the planet of karma. That means planet Saturn will be focusing on delivering our karma and making us work hard towards our final goal. And Sun will actually come here. Sun is visiting the house of Saturn. It's right. So Aquarius is ruled by Saturn. So Sun in mythology, Sun is the father, Saturn is the son. Although Saturn is born of Chaya, which is not the real wife of Sun, that was the shadow wife of Sun. So that's the reason there is conflict between Saturn and Sun, because Sun did not give due importance to Chaya, the mother of Saturn. So, but in any case, they are here in Aquarius, which is the sign of doing good for the humanity. So this transit is going to have a lot of blessings, a lot of positive things. Of course, the main caution with Saturn, especially now with combustion, is be responsible, be honest in your relationships, be truthful, and be disciplined in your routine in your life. So that's the big caution for especially the combustion of Saturn. Different planets give different results when they are combust. For example, when Mercury is combust, when Mercury is exact same degree with Sun within a few minutes, it's called Kazimi, so which is a very powerful placement, gives us immense intelligence, and insights. So combustion is not always bad. So here, what Saturn and Sun want us to do is be very responsible. They'll make you work hard, and also be disciplined even when you think that it's all right to relax or do less than needed. So you should do more than needed. The thing is this: whatever you do here, whatever hard work you do here, both Sun as our father, as our soul, and Saturn, the planet of karma, they're watching. So they're going to give us results in the long term. So Saturn doesn't give results immediately. That's why people feel bad during Sadesati and all of that. So here the 11th house will be activated. Okay. So you'll be setting foundation for your long-term finances. So work on how to organize, how to manage your finances. And also, this will actually, chop off any just casual friendships you may have. So this will force you to develop friendships that are very mature, with very mature people, very spiritual and deep and disciplined people, that'll be that don't waste time. So these your friendships may be impacted. So that's what Saturn wants you to do, to just get rid of stuff you don't need. That's why sometimes we feel, okay, it's a very difficult time or difficult transit, this combustion, but in a way it's actually making us do the right thing, which may be painful in a lot of times. So we might lose some friendships which are not serving us, which are not mature enough. um, and then Saturn has a third aspect on your lagna. So Saturn will make you work really hard and focus on your personality self-development. Whenever Saturn is in the 11th house, especially with Sun now, it will mean, dharma, mean it will want you to focus on and doing the right thing. Basically, that's the thing. So Lagna means you, your personality, yourself. And Saturn in the 11th house is a third aspect. Third aspect is about working hard, your parakram. So Saturn will make you work hard to sort of rediscover yourself through change and transformation. There is also eighth house aspect, right? So you'll feel like things are shifting, things are changing completely. There's like complete 360-degree or 180-degree, whatever shift going on. Okay, so you may feel that churning, but Saturn is setting you up for transforming yourself for the better. So you'll discover new things about yourself. Saturn is also aspecting the fifth house, and Sun is the ruler of the fifth house. So that house is also going to be very sensitive. Sensitive in the sense, again, if you have any frivolous relationships, romantic relationships, just that are not serving you, that are just on the surface, that are not mature enough, those may break away. Okay. Other thing is, do not make any speculative decisions, or do not do any risky investments. That's the fifth house, because Sun is the ruler of the fifth house as well. So this is a sensitive place. Sensitive means it's not bad. It's just it'll make you work hard in that area as a mature, disciplined person, not just having fun or doing things, wasting time, things like that. And then eighth house again, you'll be getting opportunities to handle shared wealth, like money from other people, or there could be inheritance. So discussions, or you may actually get inheritance. And also good time to focus on your client work if you are a healer, or you have your own business. So this will bring good opportunities for client work as well. And then also your children, it's time for them to grow up in a way, so they will either they will grow up, or Saturn will make them grow up, be mature. Okay, so they'll actually probably start helping you with your work, or they'll act more mature. So this transit will force that. So those are the things for Aries Lagna and Aries Rasi. We're talking about Saturn combustion from February 13th through March 14th. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And if you're looking for a reading, you can go to my website, VedicAstrology.com. Next, we'll talk about Taurus, Taurus Lagna and Taurus Rashi, both. If your rising sign is Taurus, or your um, moon sign is Taurus. So for Taurus, we're talking about the combustion of Saturn. Saturn is going to be with Sun from February 13th through March 14th. Combustion of Saturn and Sun is taking place in the sign of Aquarius. And this is your 10th house. Aquarius is 10th house for Taurus sign people. Aquarius is Mula Trikona sign for Saturn. So Saturn means business in Aquarius. Saturn is very, very, focused on making you do the right thing and set the foundation for future. So that's Saturn in Aquarius anyway. Now Sun will join. So Sun is our Atma Karaka. Sun is the soul significator. So Sun will give us guidance to always do the right thing. Soul will never misguide us, right? So these two big planets coming together. Sun is a very dharmic planet. So people fear the combustion, but essentially what it's doing is forcing us to do the right thing. And that sometimes may be painful. So we may lose some things, we may lose some people or relationships. That's what the combustion does. It just cuts off. It means business. You can't just sit around and hope for the best. So you got to act and do the right thing. So that's what combustion is. So this is taking place in your 10th house, and then Sun is your fourth house ruler. And Saturn is from here sitting in the 10th house. Saturn is aspecting your 12th house, your 7th house, and your 10th house. So very powerful planet. Saturn is a yoga karaka for Taurus. So very positive, very, very benevolent, and like a wise, guru, like a teacher or like a grandfather, right? So Saturn is a very protective and positive planet for Taurus anyway. And so now it's in Mula Trikona and it'll be joined by Sun. So these areas will flourish in a way. So flourish if you do the right thing. Okay. So 12th house, so any hidden things, if you have any secrets, under the carpet, that's not good. So that's going to give you pain. But this is excellent time to deal with foreigners, to do yoga nidra, astral travel, connect with the ancestors, with the deities, all of that. So it will give you blessings in those areas. But the problem with the combustion is if there is any, blind spots, 12th house is the blind spot, or if there is any hidden secrets and things like that, those will, uh, could be the source of pain. So you have to get rid of those. Similarly, fourth house is actually very sensitive because it's ruled by Sun. And Sun is here visiting the house of Saturn, and Saturn is combust. So it's a very delicate relationship. So you have to balance your career and your home. Fourth house is home and your mother also. So spend time with your mother. And fourth house is also real estate. So stay away from any, like speculative investments in real estate or even thinking of buying a new home and stuff. Better to think and figure out the details during this month and then take action the following month. So not a great time to get into very, you know, knee-jerk reaction, or if you see any quick deals, this is not the time for quick deals. Saturn is also aspecting your seventh house. So this will give a very solid foundation, a spiritual foundation to your relationships. Again, if you have any relationships that are not serving you, that are not based on a very spiritual foundation, or that are not mature enough, that's the right word. So if they are just frivolous, on the surface, superficial relationships, those will be affected in a big way. So that's where sometimes the pain comes. But with your existing relationships, this will force you to have a spiritual foundation, very solid, mature kind of relationships, disciplined, organized, very well managed, and mature relationships. And Saturn will teach you patience as well. So these areas of life, if you show patience, then you'll get the rewards, because Saturn, it doesn't give results immediately. It gives results slowly. And also Saturn is a very slow moving planet, right? Shanai Shanai, slowest moving planet, in fact. So you'll see the results in the 12th house matters, in the 4th house matters, in the 10th house matters, 7th house matters, and the 10th house. You'll see the results, especially where Saturn is aspecting, with time. So this may seem like work, 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 nothing is happening, but don't worry. I mean, like Gita says, don't expect the results, just do your karma. So that's what Saturn will make you do when it's combust with Sun, especially in these areas. And then the 10th house matters. Be very, very diligent, very honest, very careful in your career. Any wrongdoing will not be tolerated. So that's what Saturn combustion will do. Okay, so if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. That really helps. And if you're interested in going deep in your chart, you can book a consultation, VedicAstroAmit.com. All the details are there. Next one is Gemini. Gemini Lagna and Gemini Rashi both. So if your rising sign is Gemini or your moon sign is Gemini. So Saturn will be combust from February 13th through March 14th. Combust means it'll be with Sun. So Sun and Saturn will be together in the same sign. So in this case, it's going to be in Aquarius, which is your ninth house. For Gemini people, this combustion is taking place in your ninth house. And Sun is the ruler of your third house. And Saturn is going to aspect your 11th house, your third house, and your sixth house. So that's the full picture. So what's happening is Saturn combustion, what that means. Combustion means the planet will be very close to the sun. usually in the same sign. And then, of course, degree-wise also you have to see. So combustion, see, Sun is Atmakaraka. And in Gemini astrology, Sun is the Atmakaraka. And anyway, Sun represents our soul. So soul can never misguide us, right? So soul always will do good for us. Uh, it'll make us go in the right direction. And then, but it's considered malefic because it's a harsh planet, as in it's like father. Father makes us do the right thing. Father may seem harsh at times. Father may punish us sometimes, even, but that's all for our own good. So that's what Sun's energy is. And then Saturn is the planet of karma. Saturn makes us do the hard work. And Saturn never Saturn means business, and especially in Mula Trikona sign, Aquarius, Saturn will be Saturn is working hard to deliver our karmas, to make us do things, set foundation for the long term. Okay, so Saturn is helping us focus on the right things and get rid of things that are not serving us. So that's why ninth house combustion means you may actually lose relationship with gurus or some sangha members who are not serving you. So relationships that are not mature enough, those will be affected. So that's why the pain comes sometimes, because we have to let go of things that are not serving us, especially with Saturn. It's all about maturity and responsibility and discipline and patience. So as long as we have this mature relationship or mature gurus, those will flourish. But anything that's not serving us will be chipped away. There'll be lots of opportunities to look at your finances, and again, pay attention, do the right thing, and the third house is also activated, very sensitive actually, because Sun is the ruler of the third house, and it is combusting Saturn in the ninth house, and they're both aspecting the third house. So that means be very careful with the third house matters, as in do not make any mistakes or do not do any unethical work with respect to third house. So your communication should be very, very honest and careful with communication with your siblings. Do not hide things. Do not say, false things. If let's say you do marketing, so do not make false claims, right? So the thing is, so it's all like in astrology, we'd say, there's absolutely no guarantee. Okay, we are not God. We're not saying this will happen. We're just saying these are the possibilities, and then you have to see. So nothing is guaranteed. And so third house communication means a third house aspect of Saturn and Sun means you have to be honest in your communication, transparent. And also, this will actually help you learn some new skills that will actually serve you for the long term, that will remain with you. So good time to pick up some new skills. And then sixth house is aspected. So that means you have to work hard on your health, start some health routine. This is a good time because Sun and Saturn both will help you. Um, Something you start during this combustion will actually stay with you. You'll continue. It'll become a part of you. So good time to start some health routines, start some volunteer work, help other people, and also not to pick up any fights, because this is the third house and the sixth house both are being aspected. So that means do not get into fights or things or the conflicts that don't serve you just for the sake of it. But good time to actually take up the fight if it's for your long-term good. For example, like working with your Shadripus, your 6 weaknesses. So it's a good time to take care of your own weaknesses. So that's the Saturn's transit combustion. In fact, Sun's transit through the sign of Aquarius for Gemini, Lagna, and Rashi. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And if you are interested in diving deep in your chart, you can get a reading at VedicAstroAmit.com. Next, we have the sign of Cancer, both Lagna and Rashi. If your rising sign is Cancer or your moon is in Cancer, then you can check this. So for Cancer sign, which is number 4, we're talking about Saturn's combustion. So that means Sun is going to go through the sign of Aquarius from February 13th through March 14th. So that means Sun and Saturn will be together during this 1 month period. Any planet that goes close to the sun, it's called combust. So what happens is, because sun is so bright, so they say the other planet that's going close to the sun loses its strength, which is not entirely true. So we'll talk about that. So for Cancer, Sun and Saturn, they're in the eighth house, and Sun is the ruler of the second house, 11th house here. I'm sorry, second house, and then Saturn is the ruler of seventh house and eighth house. So I've given the aspects here. So Saturn from the eighth house will be aspecting the 10th house, the second house, and the fifth house. So Saturn is in Mula Trikona sign. That means Saturn is very, very strong. Saturn is the planet for karma. And in Aquarius, that's exactly what Saturn will be doing. It's very strong there. And Sun being there, Sun is our Atmakarka, natural Atmakarka. That means it's the soul significator. Sun represents our soul. So it's a very dharmic planet. So I always say the soul will never misguide us. So Sun, it's like father, right? So that's why. So it's considered a malefic, but that's because it's strict. It wants you to, go in the right direction. So for that, it may be strict sometimes. So Sun and Saturn together, that means very, very high quality of discipline. There is a need to be very disciplined and mature and very patient in the area that they are going to affect. So the eighth house is affected and the fifth house is affected by both of them. So there's an aspect from both Saturn and Sun on the second house. And then Sun has special aspects on the 10th house and the fifth house. So we'll talk about that. So these areas, at least eighth house and second house, you have to be very, very truthful. You have to be very disciplined, organized, and patient. So that means all the eighth house matters. So first of all, make sure you're very truthful when it comes to handling money of other people. Both second house and eighth house, they deal with money. Eighth house is the money of other people, or shared finances like in-laws or your spouse's money, or from your clients. And then second house is the family wealth. So number one caution for Cancer is be very, very truthful and careful when you manage your family wealth and other people's money. If you make any mistake intentionally, this will be very, very costly for you, because Saturn will not forgive, especially combust. So that's one thing. The other thing, if there are any hidden secrets, so make sure that you're leading a truthful life, and there are no like things you want to brush under the rug. There are no secrets that you don't want to reveal, as in some bad things or anything. So any kind of like bad secrets, those are going to be revealed, and Saturn will punish. So be truthful. Don't have any hidden dirty stuff going on. And then same thing with the second house. Be careful with your speech. But this is a good time for you to have a very mature, very, very responsible, be a speaker. And very wise, and the words will be very deep, and they'll be having a lot of deep significance. So good time for a speaker kind of a role, doing webinars and things like that. Be careful in your speech though, but you'll get that maturity. And then there'll be expansion in your career, because Saturn is having the third aspect. And so wherever Saturn has aspect, those areas will be affected. Now, the thing is, these aspects, Sun is not aspecting the 10th house, but Saturn and Sun are together. So that energy will carry over. So that means you have to be careful with your career, but there'll be ample opportunities. Saturn will give blessings, a lot of blessings for these, for Cancer people. And so there you have to work hard though, and you have to be patient. So you may feel that you're working hard at your job, at your work, and you're not getting the promotion rewards, but this is absolutely very important for you to keep doing that stuff, because Saturn doesn't give us results immediately. Saturn makes us work hard. So Saturn will make you work hard around these areas for career and regarding your children. But you will get the reward. So anything we do, with the instruction of Saturn that never goes waste. This is all for our highest good. Now, for the fifth house, any and all of your frivolous relationships, like any, that are not concrete, those any romantic relationships like that will not sustain. But you may have opportunity to develop some very deep, mature romantic relationships. And then same thing goes with your children. They'll become more mature. And if they don't, then Saturn will punish. I mean, Saturn will make them become more mature, responsible, disciplined, and more patient. And then also a good time to create something new. That could be for your career, or the theme here is a lot of indications of handling the wealth. So creativity will be there, and that creativity will be coming from a very deep level. That's the eighth house. A very something that gives you connection with the universe, something that gives you change and transformation at a very deep level. So all those things are indicated for Cancer. This is the video on Saturn combustion. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And also, if you're interested in diving deep in your chart, how these transits and other transits affect you, you can get a reading from my website, VedicAstrology.com. Next one is Leo, the sign of Leo. Either it's rising sign or the moon sign. That means Lagna is Leo or Rashi is Leo. Both you can watch this video. And so we're talking about Saturn's combustion. That means Saturn is going to be close to the sun. And how that's happening is Sun is actually entering the sign of Aquarius on February 13th. It'll remain there until March 14th. So for this entire month, Saturn will be visiting the house of Saturn. Sun will be visiting the house of Saturn, which is Aquarius. So the Aquarius is the Mula Trikrona Rashi for Saturn. That means Saturn is very, very strong, powerful here. And Sun will be visiting Saturn's house. Normally, Sun and Saturn in mythology, they're considered enemies. Sun is the father, Saturn is the son. But Saturn and Sun are, pretty strong here in Aquarius. Saturn is our karma. Saturn makes us work hard, very mature planet. And then it means business. And especially in Aquarius, it really means business. No time to waste on any frivolous things. And then Sun is our natural Atmakaraka. Sun is the significator for our soul. And so I always say it's the soul will never misguide us. So the sun is a very good planet for everybody because, see, sun is, it's like father. They say it's a malefic just because it's so bright. And we're not able to handle that brightness sometimes. And just like father will may even punish you sometimes, but father wants you to be on the right track. So sun, the truth is very important. Same thing with Saturn also. Honesty is absolutely important for Saturn. So a lot of things they don't agree with, Saturn and Sun, because Sun is the king, Saturn is the common people. But if they're both aligned, we're working towards single goal, then people and the king may be on the same page. So that's the case here in Aquarius. But they require you to work hard. It won't be easy. They really want you to not waste even a second in just superficial things. If you're honest, if you're working hard, if you're truthful, if you're patient, if you're disciplined, and if you're on time, sun is the planet of, sun is always on time. So all of those things, if you slip in any of those, if you make a mistake or if you intentionally ignore any of those areas, then you'll get punished. So here, seventh house, Sun and Saturn are transiting through the seventh house, and Saturn aspects your ninth house, Saturn aspects your Lagna, and Saturn aspects your fourth house. And Sun is the ruler of your first house, right? Sun is the Lagna Lord. So the Lagna Lord is Sun, and Sun and Saturn, they really are not, compatible in many ways. But here, what they're doing is, see, Sun is in the seventh house, which is not a very strong position for Sun. It is like Suryast. Whereas Saturn is very, very strong here. Saturn loves being in the seventh house and loves being in Aquarius. So Saturn is the king, is very strong here. Although between Sun and Saturn, usually Sun, it just depends a lot on the rising sign and also on the sign they're in. So in this case, as I said, it's a very powerful energy. we can channel that in the positive direction as long as we are truthful and honest. Those are very, very important for both Sun and Saturn. So how that will manifest is, that could manifest is, seventh house, you cannot make any mistakes with relationships. Mistakes as in intentional things like cheating on your partner, or doing bad things behind their back, or having some jealousy, any of that. So any negative emotions or actions related to relationships will be punished, and that'll be a very big deal, because this is the Lagna Lord we're talking about. Uh, Secondly, you can actually you can have really good relationship if you focus on spirituality and being disciplined and organized and very patient. So if you work hard, this could blossom into a really great partnerships, relationships. Same thing with the ninth house. Saturn will give you ample opportunities to expand. With Jupiter there, there'll be expansion in your maturity level with the gurus. So when you're, discussions with your gurus, discussion with the Sangha, you'll go into very deep discussions, higher wisdom, higher education, long distance travel. All those will be rewarded. Again, same thing. Be very truthful with your gurus. Be very truthful with your Sangha. Then you'll get all the rewards. Now, there's going to be a very big push and pull or balancing act between yourself and others. The whole theme is the first house and the seventh house, because first house ruler, the Lagna Lord, is sitting in the seventh house with Saturn. And so it's making Saturn combust. And so it's making the seventh ruler combust. And so there will be very big focus on reassessing your relationships, making it more spiritual and more truthful and more honest and more solid and more mature. Very, very mature relationships. That's going to flourish. If there are any superficial relationships, those will suffer. And then also, but be careful with ego, because Sun, wherever Sun goes, there is a chance always that even if it's in Aquarius with Saturn, there could be a chance of ego issues coming up. So be careful not to have any ego. And then there'll also be a focus on your fourth house. There'll be some kind of expansion or more deeper relationship with your mother, and also possibly working on some real estate stuff. Don't make any deals during this month because Saturn is combust, but Saturn, you can set the foundations. You can have the groundwork done, do the research, figure out things, how you can make the best once Sun moves away from Aquarius. So that's the overall. So in terms of remedy, of course, Hanuman Chalisa and Gayatri Mantra. And then also help your mother and your father, because or get guidance from them. There is big focus on being mature in these areas. So be a mature child, right? So act more responsibly. And so get the guidance, get some wisdom from your father and your mother. That's a big remedy. And then also Gayatri Mantra. Gayatri Mantra, Aditya Hridayam, those will be very good during this month. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to dive deep in with your chart, how these will impact you specifically, you can get a reading on my website, VedicAstrology.com. Next one is Virgo. The sign of Virgo, both Lagna and Rashi, whether your rising sign is Virgo or moon sign is Virgo, this applies to you. So we have number 6 sign here. So we're talking about Saturn's combustion, which means Sun and Saturn will be together from February 13th through March 14th. So on 13th of February, Sun will enter the sign of Aquarius. It'll remain there for a month. And so during this month, as you can see, Saturn and Sun are sitting in the 6th house. And Sun is the 12th house ruler for Virgo. So 12th house and 6th house are activated. And then Saturn is the 5th lord and the 6th lord. And from here, from the 6th house, Saturn is having a 3rd aspect on the 8th house, and 7th aspect on the 12th house, and 10th aspect on the 3rd house. So these are the houses that are sort of activated, especially the 6th house and the 12th house. So number one, people fear the Saturn combustion because Sun is so bright, and then they say any planet that goes near the Sun, it loses its strength. So true to some extent, but we have to look at the energy. What's happening? Which 2 planets are we talking about? See, Sun is our Atmakaraka, which means the significator of the soul. So Sun represents our soul. and the soul can never misguide us. The sun will always be, guiding us in the right direction. We just need to be aware, do Gayatri mantra, do sun salutations, things like that, so that we can receive the highest blessings. And even though it's going through the sign of ruled by Saturn, and it'll be conjunct Saturn, Sun and Saturn are considered enemies in mythology, but they will be working towards your highest good, because Saturn is the planet of karma. Saturn is super strong in the sign of Aquarius. It's the Mula Trikona sign, and Saturn is strong in the sixth house anyway. So Saturn is well placed, very strong. So even though it's going through combustion, but the results will be positive as long as you are hardworking, disciplined, organized with your health, and very disciplined with your enemies, as in your inner weaknesses. Shadripus, take care of your inner weaknesses. Then Saturn and Sun will reward you. Eighth house, there's possibility, a lot of change and transformation. You may get a lot of extra work, clients, and money from other people, even inheritance. That's possible. Now, 12th house is sensitive, because the ruler of the 12th house is Sun, and sitting in the sixth house, and it's making Saturn combust. So in a way, there's a connection of 12th house and 6th house, and actually 8th house is aspect. So 12th and 6th house have a direct connection. So that kind of gives you a form of Vipreet Raja Yoga. So it'll give really good results. So you'll get benefit from foreigners. Maybe a foreign trip is good. Then also, good time to focus on health, but using these esoteric techniques, because 8th house and 12th house both are being aspected. Do a lot of energy healing, hypnotherapy, yoga nidra, astral travel, all of that. A very powerful time. I mean, I cannot overemphasize. It's the 8th house is activated, 12th house is activated, and they're sitting in the ruler of the 12th is sitting in the 6th house. So that's activated anyway. So that's the focus. Now, there'll also be a lot of change and transformation happening here. And one other thing is, be careful with your communication. Saturn has a 10th aspect here, but great opportunity for you to learn some new skills, great opportunity to actually communicate and do marketing and stuff for your business, because third house is marketing and communication. But you have to be truthful, you have to be honest, you have to be very careful in what things you say, what things you're marketing. So don't have this, like just very commercial kind of a speech or a marketing speech. Be very truthful and care about other people. Be honest. Care for your clients and customers. Then all this communication and short distance travels, lots of short distance travels. But as long as, so the whole thing with Saturn combustion is that as long as you're honest, as long as you're truthful, as long as you're disciplined and punctual, and follow the routine, that's sixth house, then this will give you really good positive results. You may not see the results right now, but keep on putting in the hard work. You'll see the results eventually, because Saturn doesn't give results immediately. Saturn waits and makes you, work hard, and you have to be very patient. So that was the Saturn combustion for the sign of Virgo. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And also, if you like to dive deep, because each person's rising sign and their planetary positions are different, so we superimpose and then look at the impact on you specifically. So you can book a reading on my website, VedicAstrology.com. Next one is Libra. Libra is number 7 sign. So this is, if you're Libra Lagna or Libra Rashi, this applies to you both. So for Libra, we're talking about Saturn's combustion. So that's because Sun is going to transit through the sign of Aquarius from February 13th through March 14th. So Sun and Saturn are going to be together in your 5th house for Libra, your 5th house in the sign of Aquarius. And for Libra, Sun is the 11th house ruler. And from the 5th house, Saturn Saturn and Sun both will be aspecting the 11th house. So 5th house and 11th house are very much activated. And then Saturn has a 3rd aspect on your 7th house and a 10th aspect on your 2nd house. So what's happening is, see, the whole idea of combustion is that some planet will be very close to the sun, so that becomes combust. And they say it loses strength because sun is so bright. But that's partially true. I mean, what happens is you have to look at the sign it's taking place in. So this one's taking place in Aquarius. This is Saturn's Mula Trikona Rashi. Saturn is very, very powerful. Saturn is the planet of karma, just giving us karmic results in a very disciplined manner. And Sun is our Atmakarka, the significator of the soul. So the soul can never misguide us. Soul is always guiding us in the right direction. So truth and honesty and discipline are very important. As long as you are very truthful and honest, this combination, this transit will give you very positive results, very deep results that will have impact for the rest of your life. And so fifth house is activated. And so you have to be very careful with your romantic relationships. Do not have any frivolous or, superficial relationships. Those will go away. Those may give you pain. Have very deep, solid foundation in your romantic relationship. Same thing with your children. Fifth house is also our children. So develop this very mature and disciplined and focused relationship with your children, and so they'll also act more mature. Your children will grow in maturity. Your relationship with them will grow. So all that is indicated as long as you're truthful and honest and disciplined. Same thing with your relationships. Your relationships will grow. They'll have a opportunity to have a solid foundation and develop the level of maturity. And same thing for one-on-one partnerships also. Any superficial partnerships that don't have a solid foundation, that are not based on the spiritual foundation, those will suffer. But it's a great time for you to reassess and have very solid spiritual foundation, then your relationships will flourish. Now, 11th house is activated, very, very powerful, because both Saturn and Sun are aspecting the 11th house, and Sun is the ruler of the 11th house. And Sun is aspecting its own sign, its own house. So 11th house aspected by Sun and Saturn both means time to have mature relationships with your friends. If you have any superficial relationships, friendships, those will go away. Those may suffer. There could be a lot of ego issues, ego problems with your social circle if the friendship is not truthful and honest. And time to reassess your financial gains. You have to be truthful, and how you're earning. 11th house is the house of earnings, gains. So how you are getting the money, you have to have honest ways of earning your livelihood. That's what's indicated here. And then second house is activated. So there'll be focus on family relationships, managing family wealth. Good time to organize and do some things for your family wealth. Good time to, for speech and webinars, because you'll have this, energy of being very mature and being able to understand other people so you can connect with them. So good time for speeches and webinars. And also stay away from any speculative, risky moves or investments, because fifth house has Sun and Saturn combustion going on, and this house is very much active. So for this 1 month, stay away from any risky bets or risky transactions. So that's the Saturn's combustion, or Sun's transit through the sign of Aquarius, when it will combust Saturn. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to go deep in your chart and see how these transits will impact you specifically, you can book a reading with me on my website, VedicAstroAmit.com. Next is sign of Scorpio, both Lagna and Rashi. If you're Scorpio rising sign or Scorpio moon sign, this applies to you. We're talking about the combustion of Saturn. That means Saturn will be close to the Sun. That's because Sun will be transiting through the sign of Aquarius during this month, starting February 13th through March 14th. So during this full month, mid-February through mid-March, Sun will be conjunct with Saturn. So that is known as combustion. So any planet that goes near Sun, it's known as combustion, because Sun is so bright. So they say the planet that goes close to the Sun loses its power. So that's not entirely true. We'll discuss the deeper meaning of that. See, the Sun is our soul. Sun is Atmakaraka. And the soul can never misguide us. Soul will always direct us in the right path. um, in the direction of truth. See, for king, the most important thing for king is to find out the truth. So as long as we are truthful, as long as we are punctual, because sun is always punctual, then sun will be giving us blessings and guiding us. Now, the Saturn, on the other hand, is the planet of karma. Saturn wants us to work hard. Saturn doesn't care about, little things in life or frivolous things. Saturn is a very deep planet, very mature planet. Saturn wants to be mature, be responsible, own your karma, own your actions, be very honest and disciplined and hardworking. So perseverance is very important for Saturn. And so Saturn here, now this is the combination we're seeing. So Saturn is in the sign of, they're in the sign of Aquarius, which is ruled by Saturn. It's in fact the Mula Trikona sign of Saturn. So that means Saturn is extremely powerful here. And so Saturn just means business. All Saturn wants is for you to work hard. Now, the thing with Saturn is people say, oh, it's tough period, bad period, this and that. But we don't realize the benefits or the results of our hard work very easily. Saturn gives us results slowly. Saturn is known as Shanai Shanai. It walks very slowly, the slowest moving planet, right? So it gives us results with time, with patience. So we have to be very patient, but do not stop doing hard work. That's the promise of Saturn, that you will be rewarded. Whatever you do, with the guidance of Saturn, that is for the long term. We're setting the foundation for the rest of our life. And so that's the energy. So in a nutshell, how to summarize is, if we are very truthful and honest and hardworking and disciplined and patient with respect to areas that are being influenced by Saturn and Sun, we will get really good results, because these both planets are, one is our Atma, our soul. The other one is the planet for karma. And so they both are helping us, set the foundation for the rest of our life. But the condition is we have to be truthful and honest and disciplined and punctual and patient. So let's see. So it's for Scorpio sign. This transit is taking place in the 4th house. Okay. And Sun is the ruler of the 10th house. So directly there is this 4-10 axis is activated. Okay. The entire focus will be career versus your home, your inner happiness, your mother, the limelight, the external world versus the inner happiness, inner world, your heart. And so very important to have a balance between these two. Very, very, very important to be truthful in at least these two areas, in your home front, and also with your mother, and at your work, in your career, in your profession, with the authorities, especially. Very big caution. Do not take any, unnecessary take up any fights or issues with the authorities, with the governments, or with permitting authorities, things like that. That will not go well. Similarly, do not make any real estate investments or anything, major decisions related to the 4th house, which is real estate and house. Do not go out and buy a new house and during this period. So that's the general guidelines. And of course, this is, you have to look at your own specific chart as well. But in general, so Saturn and Sun will give you blessings for these two houses if you're truthful and honest. Then Saturn is also aspecting the 6th house, the third aspect. So that's the third aspect of Saturn, is all about hard work. The third house is the house of Parakram and courage. So this is the time to set up some good health routine, very strong, a lot of hard work, and work on your 6 weaknesses. Saturn will help you. Saturn is there to help you. In fact, Saturn will be there for another year and 3 months to help you eradicate your 6 weaknesses, get rid of your 6 weaknesses as much as possible. And then also it's 4th house we're talking about. So spend time with your mother, receive guidance from her, blessings from her, learn from her wisdom. That's what will really, really please Saturn and Sun. And then Saturn will also be aspecting your Lagna, the 10th house. So your entire personality, your self, the way you perceive everything, your who you are, that you'll discover. Saturn will help you with all of that. A lot of introspection. You'll go within and figure out and reassess who you are. And then also, same thing, soul searching, because it's the fourth house, 10th house, and Lagna all are connected here. So a lot of soul searching, a lot of, what is your home, what you consider as your home, what gives you inner happiness and who you are, yourself, discover yourself, you'll rediscover yourself, but also setting the foundation for the long term for these areas, like for your health. You'll start some routines that you will stick with, long-term foundation for your career, some planning for your career, and same thing for your home renovation or buying a new home. Just setting the stage, setting the foundation, doing hard work, but not making any major decisions during this time. So that's the sign of Scorpio. The Saturn's transit through the sign of Scorpio from February 13th. I'm sorry, Sun's transit through the sign of Aquarius. I misspoke, not through Scorpio. So we're talking about the combustion of Saturn in the sign of Aquarius in the fourth house for Scorpio. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And if you want a deep dive for your specific chart, you can book a reading on my website, VedicAstrology.com. Next one is Sagittarius. The sign of Sagittarius, both Lagna and Rashi. If the rising sign is Sagittarius or the moon sign is Sagittarius, this applies to you. So number 9 is Sagittarius. So what's happening is we're discussing the transit of Sun through the sign of Aquarius that will give combustion to Saturn. Combustion means whenever a planet gets too close or near Sun, it loses its strength. That's the belief. So we'll look at the deeper meaning of that. And so Sun will be transiting the sign of Aquarius from February 13th through March 14th. So that's the period we're talking about. So for Sagittarius, it's happening in the third house. And from third house, both Sun and Saturn, they are having a 7th aspect on your 9th house. I have labeled here. And then Saturn is also aspecting your 5th house, the third aspect, and your 12th house. So those houses will be activated by this transit, and we'll see the energy, what's going on. In general, Saturn is the planet of karma. Saturn means business. So in Aquarius, Saturn is actually it's Mula Trikona sign. That means it's very, very focused on getting things done, doing the right thing. It's a lot of work, and hard work. So Saturn is very strong. Saturn is the planet of karma. It loves doing work, and so it's in Aquarius, which is its Mula Trikona sign. The Sun, on the other hand, is our Atmakarka. It's the significator of our soul. So soul always guides us in the right direction. Soul is our, it's like father. Father can be strict at times, but father always wants good for us. So father is always guiding us, helping us on our path. So that's what Sun does. That's why it's considered malefic, just because it's strict. It's like a strict father. But it means well. And it's a very dharmic planet. So both Saturn and Sun coming together in Aquarius especially is actually a good combination. They will focus on getting things done for that house and the houses they're activating. Now, some cautions, of course. You have to be very truthful in these areas of life we'll discuss. You have to be very honest, because Sun and Saturn actually both hate lies and untruth. So Sun is the planet, Sun is the king. The biggest theme for the king is to find out the truth. Same thing, Saturn actually likes honesty. Saturn, couple of things that Saturn doesn't like. One is ego, and other one is honesty. So Saturn really loves honesty. But if you're not truthful, then Sun and Saturn will give you a really, really bad time. So what that all means is regarding the third house matters especially, and your 9th house matters, because both Sun and Saturn are aspecting the 9th house. These two houses, you cannot make any mistakes, at least intentional mistakes. So what that means, so third house is all about communication. Be very truthful in your communication. Do not ignore your siblings. Be very truthful with your siblings. Let's say you do marketing and stuff, anything like that, be very truthful in your full disclosure, transparency in your communication, in your dealings. And then third house is also the house of skills. So that's one of the remedies is you can really, really, really work hard, develop some new skills, especially with your hands. That will be a perfect remedy for this combustion. That will give you, that will show that you're acting as a mature person. That's what Saturn wants you to do, to become mature. Um, but you know, make sure no ego issues with your siblings, no ego issues with your guru's father, and with your sangha. That's very important. And as I said, no hidden things or cheating or lies, especially with respect to your gurus or with your father, with your sangha. And then Saturn is aspecting the third house. So I'm sorry, the third aspect of Saturn is on your fifth house. That represents your children, your romantic partners, and creativity, speculation. Number one, do not make any risky bets. Do not do any, uh, speculation in stock market, etc. Stay low. Second is if you have any romantic relationships which are frivolous or superfluous, superficial, they will not last. I mean, that's Saturn doesn't want you to waste time. And so your romantic relationships will become more mature, or you'll find a mature partner, in other way. Then same, your children also. Your children will feel more responsibility. They'll act more mature, and they have to. If they don't, then they'll face this period as very difficult. And your relationship with them will grow. It'll be more disciplined and mature kind of relationship with your children. Good time to be creative. Come up with some cool stuff. Working hard. Okay, and then Saturn is also aspecting the 12th house. 12th house is um, 12th house is all about hidden things again. So make sure there are no blind spots. Make sure you're truthful. That theme is coming up very strongly for Sagittarius. You have to be very truthful. Don't hide anything that's negative or bad. Um, and then you'll have opportunities from the foreigners. You'll have opportunity to travel abroad also because ninth and 12th both are activated. But make it like a pilgrimage, make it meaningful, make it useful and a mature trip, as a responsible traveler. And good time for higher wisdom, higher studies, and esoteric wisdom, energy healing, astral travel, yoga nidra, all of that. So that's the quick analysis for Sagittarius, sign of Sagittarius. If you want a deep dive with respect to your chart, so to see how exactly they'll impact you specifically, you can book a reading at VedicAstrology.com. And also please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. That's very, very important. Share it with your friends who might benefit from this. So a lot of people ask me questions, should I look at Lagna or Rashi? You can look at both. And then if you know a little bit astrology, you can look at the one that is stronger. If Lagna is stronger, you can see the transits from Lagna. If Moon is stronger, then you can see transits from the Moon sign, from the Rashi. How to find it out, that if you don't know, then you need a reading, or you can join our courses continuously going on. You can check out all the details at VedicAstroAmit.com. Thanks for watching. So now we'll see the next sign is Capricorn. Capricorn, number 10 sign. We're talking about the Saturn's combustion. Saturn is combust during this period, February 13th through March 14th. That means Sun and Saturn will be close to each other or in the same sign. So Sun will enter Aquarius on February 13th and will remain here until March 14th. So that 1 month period, Sun and Saturn will be in the same sign of Aquarius. So that's why Saturn will be combust. Combust means the planet is close to the Sun. And they say because Sun is so bright, so the planet will lose its strength. That's not entirely true. We'll talk about the deeper meaning of that. Sun is our Atma Karaka. Sun is our soul, right? So soul always guides us in the right direction. Soul never misguides us. So Sun is a very dharmic planet, amazing planet for everybody. And but there are things we need to do as well from our side. We'll discuss. And then Saturn on the other end is the planet of karma. Saturn gives us karmic results and makes us work hard. That's why there's no like wasting time. There's no laziness. There's no frivolous thing. There's no superficial stuff with Saturn. Saturn means business. especially Saturn sitting in Aquarius, it really, really means business because Aquarius is the Mula Trikona Rashi for Saturn. So Saturn extremely powerful and strong. Sun is strong too because see Sun here, Sun and Saturn are this combination is very good for that it's happening in Aquarius. Because it's happening in Aquarius, they're both actually getting strength in ways. But then, as I mentioned, there are several things you'd be cautious about. One, do not have any ego. See that the combustion means complete destruction of your ego with respect to that planet. So in general, Sun represents our ego. So first of all, do not have any ego. Secondly, be very truthful. Sun and Saturn, probably the number one thing that they both look for is honesty and truth. Sun, being the king, always is interested in finding the truth. Saturn is the planet of honesty and being truthful, uh, because that's dealing with the karma. You can't be, you know, telling lies and doing bad stuff and then expect good results from your karma. So Sun and Saturn, as long as you do really good hard work related to these houses that are activated, plus you are truthful and you're disciplined, um, and and you're really not ignoring any of those things and intentionally you're not doing anything bad, then you'll get a lot of rewards, big blessings of Saturn and Sun. So what's happening in this there in the second house for Capricorn sign? Second house is our family wealth. Make sure you're very truthful when dealing with the family wealth. Now, eighth house is also activated at the same time because Saturn and Sun are aspecting the eighth house. So eighth house is also dealing with money. It's the dealing shared wealth, which means could be your spouse and you as a couple, your wealth together, or from the in-laws or from other people, like from your clients. All of that. So be very truthful in handling other people's money, which coming your way, or your family wealth. Secondly, do not have an ego when you are speaking or talking. So be very truthful in your words. Second house is our words, the speech. But otherwise, this is a great time for any speech or things like that because Sun and Saturn here will give you a very mature, very deep and wise kind of a voice. So you'll be able to, take advantage of that. Um, of course, you have to look at your own chart as well to see the exact interpretation, but that's the overall energy. And then Saturn is also aspecting your fourth house, which is our Sukhasthana, our home, our residence, real estate, mother, all of that. So be truthful in those areas, but you'll get big opportunities. Don't go and buy a new home or anything or any real estate deals. Not advisable, but set the stage, set the foundation, do the hard work for the long-term planning. So plan out some things, and then also help your mother, spend time with your mother. Okay. Eighth house activated as well, and because Sun is the ruler of the eighth house, and so there could be a lot of change and transformation for the good. Um, and then 11th house is activated, so that means your financial gains will be you'll reassess. You'll be very truthful in your financial, the way you earn your livelihood. That's the bottom line. You have to be very truthful, not to be earning livelihood through means that are, unethical and things like that. So that's the big recommendation and caution for Capricorn sign. But otherwise, you'll get a lot of blessings in many areas, your family wealth, your speech, your food that you eat, actually. Also be careful in your diet. Uh, you know, uh, Eat sattvic food. And your mother, your home, real estate, and your financial gains and change and transformation. So that's the energy for Saturn's combustion during this month of February 13th through March 14th. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And if you like a deep dive with your chart, you can book a reading with me on my website, VedicAstroAmit.com. And if you want to learn further, we have courses going on, live courses on Zoom, weekly classes. So check out the details on my website, VedicAstroAmit.com. So the next one is Aquarius, the sign of Aquarius, both Lagna and Rashi. If you're Aquarius rising sign or Aquarius moon sign, this applies to you. So a lot of people ask me whether I should look at this or that. You can look at both, You can watch two sections in this video, or you can look at which one is stronger and then see that one. If you don't know that, then of course you have to get a reading, or which you can go to my website to get a reading, VedicAstrology.com. And then yeah, Aquarius, it's very important transit happening because it's happening in your Lagna. It's the number 11 sign is the sign of Aquarius. So what's happening is Saturn is the planet of karma. Saturn is very strong, very, very powerful in Mula Trikona sign of Aquarius. And of course, being the Lagna Lord sitting in the Lagna, extremely powerful time for Aquarius people. And it's the planet of karma, so all it wants to do is deliver our karmic results. And so we are supposed to be doing a lot of hard work right now, not worry about the results at all. So just keep doing your hard work, which Saturn will make you work hard, because sitting in Lagna, Saturn in Lagna means person will have to work very hard. But the results may be now, later, or down the road. We don't know, because Saturn doesn't give the results immediately. Saturn is a very slow planet. But rest assured, any efforts you make or hard work you do will be rewarded. It will not go unnoticed or waste. So Lagna is getting transformed, and so you have to be truthful with yourself. Your first house is yourself. Saturn and Sun demand truthfulness. So you have to be very, very truthful with yourself, who you are. Be very, very honest, and this could lead to change and transformation in your personality. A lot of opportunity for like self-improvement, and just being more connected with the universe and being more authentic. So that's what's been asked of you. And then Sun and Saturn both are aspecting the seventh house. Okay, so seventh house is also activated. That means your relationships, they have to have a spiritual foundation, otherwise they will not uh, it'll be difficult. You'll face challenges. And so in the seventh house, again, be honest, be truthful, and be very um, disciplined in your relationships. If you have a frivolous or a superficial relationship, those will not last. Saturn doesn't like wasting time. So now Saturn and Sun both want you to focus on things that matter, be very wise. You may find a wise partner, a very mature partner, or if you already have partner, your relationship will become more mature. That's the energy here. But be very truthful. And Saturn is also aspect in your 10th house. It'll activate your career. Good time to stay strong and be truthful in your career, and then you'll get a lot of rewards, a lot of opportunities your way coming. Saturn is also aspecting the third house. So good time to learn some new skills. Be careful with your communication with your siblings, and be careful with your communication in general. Third house represents our communication in general. So that's those are the houses that are impacted. Now, because the first house and the seventh house are activated, so there's going to be a push and pull between yourself and others. So you have to have a balance between taking care of your own needs and those of other people. You cannot ignore one or the other. You have to do both, and do in such a way that both you and your relationship, you feel a strong, solid spiritual foundation. And this you may uh, turn or transform those relationships and transform yourself to become more mature, more disciplined, more patient, and very strong. So that's a lot of blessings for Aquarius, because it's the Lagna Lord and sitting in Lagna. So this transit will bring a lot of positive things and blessings. So that's the Saturn combustion for Aquarius. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to go deep dive with your chart, you can book a reading with me, VedicAstrology.com. And if you like to learn astrology, we have courses going on, live courses on Zoom, weekly classes. You can join. Different levels or modules are going on. You can check out details at VedicAstrology.com, or send me an email. So next one is Pisces. We're talking about the combustion of Saturn. Saturn is combust from February 13th through March 14th. That means, and that's because Sun will be going through the sign of Aquarius, entering Aquarius on February 13th until March 14th. So whenever a planet is close to the Sun, we say it is combust. And A lot of people say combustion means because sun is strong, so bright, and the planet goes near the sun, it loses its strength. So which is true, but very partially. Like, there's very deep meaning to that. So we'll discuss that. See, sun is our Atma. Sun is the Atma Karaka, meaning the significator of the soul. Sun represents our soul, our father. And so it's a very blissful planet. Soul can never misguide us, right? Soul is always guiding us on the right track, right path. But people say it's a malefic because it's a harsh planet. It's so bright, but it has to be harsh because just like a good strict father has to be strict sometimes to set you on the right path. So that's what sun does. So sun is very strict planet, but it's a very dharmic planet. It means well for you. It'll always direct you in the right path. This sun is our soul. Saturn, on the other hand, is the planet of karma. Saturn represents all the hard work that we do. Saturn makes you work hard. And now Saturn is very strong in Aquarius because that's its Multitrikona sign. Multitrikona means the planet is very strong and just means business. I mean, it wants to get things done related to the house, the sign, or their own karakatwas of the planet, the qualities or the areas of life represented by the planet. So Saturn is very, very strong in Aquarius. Now, Sun and Saturn, they are considered father and son in mythology, and they don't get along very well with each other. There's a lot of differences, they're like kind of opposite each other in terms of qualities, but they both mean business, and Aquarius is the perfect sign for them to execute that plan, long-term plan, be very disciplined. So you'll get a lot of blessings, but there is a caution that you have to be truthful, number one, because Sun is being the king, really just wants to get down to the truth, and it doesn't like um, hidden things or secrets. And Saturn, on the other hand, is the planet of karma, which just wants you to work hard. And so both of them will give you blessings if you're very truthful, if you're honest, if you're disciplined, if you work hard, and if you're on the right track. So which houses are activated? So they are going through your 12th house. The transit is taking place in your 12th house. From there, Saturn and Sun both are aspecting your 6th house. So you have aspect on the second house, 6th house, and your 9th house. That's the Saturn's aspect. And together, Saturn and Sun are aspecting your 6th house as well. So 6-12 axis is very much activated. A lot of focus on your health, a lot of focus on foreign people, foreign things, foreign dealings, and also big focus on travel, long distance travel, on pilgrimage, foreign travel, because 9th house and 12th house both are activated or impacted. And so dealing with your gurus, be very truthful. Dealing with your gurus, dealing with your family or family wealth, be very truthful. Be very truthful with your words and speech, things that come out of your mouth, and also be very sattvic in your diet. That's the second house. The food that you eat, don't eat junk food. And good time, it'll give you a lot of opportunities to speak, like webinars and things like that. Now, Saturn has been in Aquarius for a while. Now, what Sun will do is, because of Sun's transit, so how that energy will shift for this month is, Sun will bring more, authority. You'll be more much, be like a leader, and but you have to be truthful. Okay, so that's very, very important. And so, but Sun may also bring ego. Sun is the king, so there could be some ego clashes with foreigners, or with your family members, or with your gurus and sangha. So be careful about that. But otherwise, you'll get blessings of the gurus. You'll become more mature in your relationship with your gurus, or you'll find more mature gurus. And then second house, we talked about that. So things will have more spiritual foundation related to these houses that are activated, the 12th house, second house, 6th house, and 9th house. There could be reassessment or change. So if there are any superficial things going on in your life about these houses, those will be negatively impacted, meaning, they'll not sustain. But if you are very truthful, honest, and doing very mature things, like a responsible person and very disciplined manner, and doing the hard work, then you'll get a lot of rewards. So that's the energy for Saturn's combustion for Pisces. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I really appreciate your support. And if you would like a reading, go deep dive into your chart. You can book that on my website, VedicAstrology.com. And also, if you're interested in learning astrology, there are live courses going on all the time. So I teach classes on Zoom, and you can check out the details at VedicAstroAmit.com. Thanks for watching.